What if I told you one of the most powerful books ever written doesn't teach you how to become stronger, but how to become softer? A book written more than 2,500 years ago by a mysterious old man who vanished into the mountains. Yet his words still shape philosophy, spirituality, and human thought even today. This is the story of Tao Te Ching, the book that teaches how silence can be louder than words, how weakness can defeat strength, and why humans suffer when they fight against the natural flow of life. Imagine a river. No matter how many rocks stand in its way, the water never fights. It simply flows around them. Slowly, patiently, it shapes mountains themselves. According to Lao Tzu, humans were meant to live exactly like that river. But instead, we chase money, status, power, validation, and in the process, we lose ourselves. So, who was Lao Tzu, and why does his tiny book still influence millions after thousands of years? Part 1. The mysterious sage legend says Lao Tzu lived in ancient China during a time of war, greed, and political corruption. He worked as a keeper of knowledge in the royal archives. Over time, he became disappointed with humanity. People were becoming obsessed with power and control, while forgetting peace and wisdom. One day, he decided to leave civilization forever. Riding on a water buffalo toward the western mountains, he prepared to disappear from history. But before leaving, a gatekeeper stopped him and begged, "Before you go, leave behind your wisdom for humanity." So Lao Tzu wrote around 81 short verses. Those verses became the Tao Te Ching. And then he vanished. No one knows where he went. Some say he became a hermit. Others believed he became immortal. Part 2. What is the Tao? The word Tao means the way, not a road, not a religion, but the invisible force behind all existence. The Tao is the flow of nature itself, the movement of rivers, the changing of seasons, birth and death, light and darkness. Lao Tzu believed humans suffer because they resist this natural flow. We try to control everything. We force outcomes. We compare ourselves to others. We constantly want more. But the Tao teaches something radical. The more you chase life, the more life escapes you. Part 3. The wisdom of water. One of the most famous teachings in the book compares Tao to water. Water is soft, gentle, yielding, yet over time, it destroys stone. It does not compete. It does not boast. It flows naturally to the lowest places others avoid. Lao Tzu says the strongest person is not the most aggressive, but the one who remains calm, flexible, and humble. Because in nature, what is rigid eventually breaks. What is soft survives. Part 4. The power of doing nothing. Another strange idea in the book is called Wu Wei, meaning effortless action. It doesn't mean laziness. It means acting without forcing life. Think about breathing. You don't force it. It simply happens naturally. Lao Tzu believed the wisest people live the same way. They don't desperately chase power. They don't manipulate others. They don't fight every battle. Instead, they move with life, not against it. And strangely, those people often achieve the most. Part 5. Balance creates everything. The Tao Te Ching teaches that opposites are connected. Without darkness, light means nothing. Without sadness, happiness cannot exist. Without weakness, strength has no meaning. This idea later became connected with the famous Yin and Yang symbol. According to Lao Tzu, the universe survives because opposite forces stay in balance, but humans constantly choose extremes. Too much greed, too much ambition, too much ego, and because of that imbalance, suffering begins. Part 6. The Hidden Truth. Perhaps the deepest teaching of the Tao Te Ching is this: the greatest truths cannot be explained with words. In the very first verse, Lao Tzu says, "The Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao," meaning reality is far deeper than language. Some things must be experienced in silence, peace, awareness, the feeling of being fully alive. These cannot truly be explained, only felt. Ending. Thousands of years have passed since Lao Tzu disappeared into the mountains. Empires have risen and collapsed. Wars have destroyed nations. Technology has transformed humanity. Yet this tiny book still whispers the same message: slow down, stop forcing life, let go of endless desire, become simple, become still. Because maybe true wisdom is not about conquering the world. Maybe it's about finally learning how to live in harmony with it.